Wow. That is amazing. I'm going to be right here tomorrow. This looks like the sound booth right here. Man. That's going to be quite a show there. Once a matador, always a matador. And congratulations, graduates. Hey there, you guys. Shaun here. This is part 2 of my CSUN video series here at Cal State Northridge. I know in my previous video I mentioned I was going to talk about my CTVA courses, but I'm actually over here at a different building, not Manzanita Hall, but Richfield Hall. And I took a couple of courses in here that are really worth mentioning and need a video of their own. So here we go. So right here is Jerome Richfield Hall. I took 2 really interesting courses in here. One was Greek and Roman Mythology and English 333. Now if you guys are viewers of my videos, you guys may have heard of me talking about English 333. So what is it exactly? Well, to do that, I had to go up to the 3rd level of this building. I would always take the elevator up, so like old times, we're taking the elevator up. Level 3. Here we are. Now we're going to go through the hallway here, take a sharp left. Let's see if I can do this with the force. Excellent. There it is. That's the classroom. Number 348. That's where I took English 333. Yep, I sat way up against the wall right there because there was an outlet right there for my computer. Basically, English 333 was the comics as literature course. Yes, here at CSUN, they have a course here for comic books. Seriously, no joke. I am not kidding. And that was one of the most fun courses I've ever had here, next to the VR experience here. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, English 333 was taught by Charles Hatfield, and he, of course, is a big nerd in terms of comics. He goes to like a lot of conventions, and there was actually a very cool exhibit that he brought here to the campus at the art gallery, and I think it was called Comic Book Apocalypse. So basically, it was all about the works of Jack Kirby. And if you guys don't know who Jack Kirby is, then you don't know Marvel or any of your favorite superhero characters, because he created a lot of them. And who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about like Thor, Captain America. He created characters for DC. He worked on a couple Superman, Batman comics, as well as creating his own comics, including one character called Omac. And I think I have a couple clips at home about me talking about Omac. So Shaun at home, take it away. One of the comics that was featured at the exhibit was this one right here, The Mighty Thor, issue 155. Jack Kirby drew this cover. What was even cooler was that not only did they have this issue, but they also had the drawings that he made for the entire issue, page by page, including the cover. Basically, his hand-drawn images before they were colorized. So any colors that you see here, they were not on the image or on the page that we saw at the exhibit. Yes, this issue was at the exhibit, like in a separate case, but the pencil drawings that he made were also on display. I actually got this one at the comic book store, Earth 2 Comics, which was right down the street. And literally, when I saw this, I was like, you know what? I better get this before someone else gets it, because this is the one for the exhibit. And by the way, while I was filming that, Simey was meowing at me, as usual. Now, you probably saw this comic here off to the side when I had the camera like this, and we're like, wait a second, I don't recognize this character. Who is this? Well, this is Omac. This is a character that Jack Kirby developed and created, wrote, edited, and drew for DC Comics. Not only did he draw comics for Marvel, but he also drew comics for DC. And this was one of his creations. Not only did he create Silver Surfer, but he also created OMAC here, which stands for One Man Army Corps. Now, believe it or not, but there were only 8 issues of OMAC that were ever released. And ladies and gentlemen, this is issue number 8. And like the Thor comic, yes, I found this at Earth 2 Comics. This is a collector's item, you guys. That's why I have it at the center of my comic display. OMAC issue number 8 is one of the most highly coveted of some of the most rare comic book characters probably in comic book history. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot to mention, the cover, it was actually not drawn by Jack Kirby, because he left right after they finished drawing the 8th issue of OMAC. So this was actually drawn by a different artist, but he still was the one that drew the comic. I also found issue 2 of OMAC at Earth 2 Comics. So not only do I have issue 8, but I also have issue 2, which are both in pretty good condition, I must say. Oh, hey Harley. Harley Quinn. I could tell he was a little bit jealous, because he didn't have issue 8. He had a digital copy of it, but not an actual physical copy. But I did. I was the only student in this class who has ever owned issue 8 of OMAC. Literally. I'm pretty much betting that. Okay, so we're back now. So, yes, that is an actual course. English 333. Comics as Literature. Probably one of the most fun classes, like I said, here on campus. And you're probably asking yourselves, well, Sean, what did you do for assignments? Well, it's a Comics as Literature class, so what do you think the assignments were? You guessed it, reading comics, comic strips, comic books, even graphic novels that were being sold here at CSUN. It was a lot of fun. Now I can't remember if I took the next course I'm going to mention in this building or in this building. I think it was in here because I was on the second floor, but the other course I took that was really interesting was Greek and Roman Mythology. I don't remember the name of the professor who taught that course, and it doesn't really matter now because he's no longer teaching it, but let me just say that that course was really interesting. It was fun, but there were some things that went on behind the scenes that really were just like wrong. And I don't want to get into a whole discussion about it because I don't want to get myself in trouble. I mean, he already got himself into a big amount of trouble. But anyways, the Greek and Roman mythology course is obviously about learning about Greek mythology and Roman mythology. And it was interesting, but personally, it was a rather difficult class. And I remember that one semester, that was not one of my absolute favorite semesters because during that time I was taking CTVA 361 the first time around, and let's just say that that first time wasn't fun. I forget what semester that was. I think that was like fall or spring of either 2014, 2015, somewhere in there, but that one semester was not fun. There was actually another course where it was blank as literature. That was film as literature. And I can't remember exactly what it was. It was a CTVA course, but it was film as literature. And let me just be honest with you guys. Film as literature is a fun topic, but if you don't teach it properly, then that's an issue. I mean, the professor taught it somewhat good, but I think there could have been more to it. In fact, if you guys remember from my previous video, I actually got to see a whole bunch of plays that were based off of literature, but they were also movies at that time, but still, they were plays and not really films. So, didn't make a whole lot of sense there, but it was part of our assignments. So, yeah, rather interesting. Two of the plays I remember right off the top of my head were To Kill a Mockingbird and Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. There was actually a new one called Electricidad. So right here, everybody, is Manzanita Hall. This is where I spent most of my CSUN life, right here in this building, in many of the classrooms. But that is going to be saved for my next video. On that note, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, hit the thumbs up button. It is greatly appreciated. Next time, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my days in Manzanita Hall. And one of the classrooms that I spent a lot of my time in is this one, room 103. Here it is. But you guys are going to find out about the stories from Manzanita Hall next time. So again, thank you so much for watching. End scene, and that's a wrap.